Hi everyone. It says I'm live, which is always good. This is Shirley from Shirley's World. I'm a reseller on eBay and Poshmark, sometimes Mercari. I'm a YouTube video maker, whatever they call them. And yeah, this is my live videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, we have a good group here that joins me. Riri, hi. Hi, Bumblebee. Riri, did you already get it? I just mailed it yesterday. If not, it's on its way. Thank you. Heavens. Yeah. Well, I was busy today with people coming here. Finally, well, he said he was going to bring the invoice yesterday. My new handyman that made my storm cellar doors. But he didn't come yesterday, but he came today. And I was amazed. Where did I put it? His wife makes these really nice little invoices for him. She's an accountant. And I thought this was going to cost between $400 and $500. In fact, he said he thought it would cost around $300 to $400. And he gives me the bill, and it's $293.80. I was shocked. I mean, I'm so pleased. Wow, this is really nice. The doors, I'm going to do a walkabout outside on one of these videos in the next couple days, and I'll show you the storm cellar doors. Friday it's supposed to get there. Okay. Yeah. I thought today would be a little fast, although you're pretty close. Yes, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I did make a couple videos today. I did the living in the 40s and 50s about music. It's not on yet. I have to edit it yet, and I'll put it on tomorrow. Hi, Sue. My sister's here. Yes. Good. Yeah, my then a big truck pulls in, and it's the septic cleaner guy. So I got my septic system cleaned out today and paid off my storm cellar doors, which was a good surprise. It cost more for the septic cleaning. It was $355 every time I get, that cleaned up. But you're supposed to do it every 2 years. Mine doesn't need it done every 2 years. So I don't know how long it's been. It's been over 5 years, and it still, he said it was in great shape. So yeah, I think it just depends on how many people are living in the house, actually. Yeah, everybody say hi to my sister. She doesn't usually say anything when she's on here. Yes, I did a video also of me cooking, or making my chicken dinner. And it's not very long, but my kitchen's still a mess. I don't know why. Every time I cook or bake or do anything, I make such a mess. So I've got to clean that up, because I hate to wake up in the morning to a kitchen that's not all put back together. So I have to do that after I get off here. After I give the cat her insulin, I have to clean up my kitchen out there. But yeah, I had a good dinner and yeah, got some videos made. So I made a couple sales today. In fact, um, I haven't sold any shoes in a long time. And then all of a sudden I had two nice sales of shoes. Three sales of shoes. Just crazy. Bumblebee. Remember the not mucklets, mini Tonka. Remember the mini Tonka boots was in one of your boxes? The pink suede? I hung on to those like for a year because they fit me perfectly. And I thought for sure I would wear them, but then they're suede. And if you wear them out, they will get all dirty. So I never wore them. But anyway, they sold. Yeah, I sold them for $30 plus shipping. So that was a nice surprise. Then I sold a pair of men's shoes and a pair of tennis shoes. So yeah, and some other things too. So I am having some sales. I'm still going through all my inventory and putting some best offers back on. And I'm also lowering prices on a lot of things that were way overpriced that I had put on like a couple of years ago when people were getting a little better prices for things. But now that's not the case. So I guess you have to go with the times. But I know what I spend for things, and I'll still be making money on them. But I want to just clear things out. Yeah. So taking offers and yeah. So has everybody else been selling anything? Yeah. Sue's going on a vacation the first part of September. Yeah, my niece, her daughter, they're redoing their vows, and they're going to do it in. I'll never tell you the name of the place. It's on the coast. Sue, what's the name of the place you're going? Outer Banks. Is that where you're going? Maybe. September 5th, you go to Brenda's. Brenda's is my niece's husband, mother's house. So I don't expect I'll be taking any more vacations. Number one, I don't think anybody's going to take me. And number two, I don't drive. I was even nervous driving. Yes, the Outer Banks. Yeah, she's going with you. Brenda is. Of course. Yeah, I was even kind of not real comfortable driving to get my hair cut. And that's in Strongsville, which is just 2 exits from here on the highway. And I don't know. I don't know why. I think I'm a perfectly safe driver. Uh, I think that gets in my head, and you know. But I know people that were in their 90s driving. My friend that's now 100, if he's still alive, and I haven't seen, this is horrible, but I haven't seen his obituary. He doesn't live here anymore. He lives down in the middle of Ohio by Columbus. Uh, his wife had died, but I think he's still going, and he's probably 101 by now. I think his birthday's May 25th. Now, Sue, how do I remember that date? I remember the weirdest dates of different people, but the things you'd think I'd remember, no, I don't. I don't remember, and this is because I don't want to remember, I suppose. You get your hair cut tomorrow. Ah, so we'll both have short hair. I don't remember any death dates when people died, ever. No. I don't remember when my dad died or my mother died. I think mom died sometime in the end of summer, was it? End of summer or early fall. Mm. Yeah, that was a terrible time because not only had my mother was sick, and we were sort of well, my sister more than me, we were taking care of her. I was going back and forth from here to Erie, and then my husband was sick with leukemia here, and nothing looked good. It was just bad time. September 3rd of 2003. Wow. 2003 doesn't seem that long ago, does it? Mm. Yeah, I meant to look up. I have to go in the file and look up because I don't remember what year. Sue, you probably do. What year did Jack die? That's terrible. He was my husband. I can't keep the years or dates straight. I think he died in January, but I don't know the date. Uh, well, I thought I would try to do a walk around the yard one, maybe tomorrow, the next day when it's going to be nice. And then I want to do the clearing out my closet, my real closet upstairs. Try to straighten that out and get rid of a lot of things. You wonder why she didn't have any jaundice. Yeah, that's true. My mother died of liver cancer. But yeah, she was never jaundiced. Hmm. Yeah. She was a little thing to begin with. She was short. She was 5 foot, and then she got to be at least maybe 4. She was 4 foot something. Uh, when she really got older. And then, yeah, of course, with the liver cancer, she lost a lot of weight. She was just a tiny little person. 91. I always think was 92. I don't know why that has stuck in my head, and I always say 92. 91. 4'8". Wow. Yeah. I hope we don't get that short, Sue. We're both shrinking too, but not anything like that. But my mother started shorter. Yeah, I at one time was 5'6". I think was what I was. I think I'm down to below 5'5" now. That's darn osteoporosis will do it to you. Well, I went out in the garden today and to get some things for my chickens because there's overripe stuff out there. So I got some tomatoes that were going to go bad and picked up some of the cucumbers that I had picked before I pulled all the vines out and chopped those up and gave them to the chickens along with the Swiss chard. I thought it was a done in the spring. I had used it all up, I thought, but I must have left enough of it that it made another, I had two of them. And there's a lot of Swiss chard out there. So I did give them a couple leaves of that, but I like that. So I have to go get some of that out tomorrow and make myself something with it. But yeah, the garden's a mess. Another thing I was wondering about, I love morning glories, the blue, heavenly blue flowered ones. And I have them, I plant them every year on my white picket fence out there in the corner. And I get the leaves, the beautiful heart-shaped leaves. They're all over the fence now. But no buds, no flowers. And the same thing happened last year. When I used to grow morning glories at our other house in Parma Heights, it was full of flowers, full. I remember planting them back in my perennial gardens, way in the back, and they would flower. But I don't know why they don't flower here. They do get sun, quite a bit of sun, as much as they got in the back. I don't know. So I'm going to try to really get going on this YouTube. I told my daughter today that she needs to get started because there's people all over YouTube. I mean, YouTube people saying that it's the great time for people over 40 to start on YouTube. I don't exactly know why they're saying that, but I'm hearing it from a lot of people. I don't know if people are just tired of the teenagers taking over different sites and nobody can understand them. I mean, us old people. Not to say you're old, and but yeah, older people. Yeah, they talk different. They talk about things that don't interest us, and I think that's why people, if you're over 40 and start a YouTube channel, you're going to do pretty well. So, yeah. Sue, you should start a YouTube channel. You do more than I do. as far as going places. You don't think you do, but I think you do. I didn't turn my phone off, so I hope it doesn't ring. BS. Ah, I keep busy around here. I must, because I'm dead tired at the end of the day. By the time I sit down to watch anything on TV, I'm pretty shot. But I can't go out and work in the garden like I used to. That's for sure. I was out there today, like I said, and I nearly stumbled and fell on my face over some of the vines that are still on the ground. I didn't have my walking stick with me. Yesterday, when Samantha was here, we went we went shopping. I thought of taking the camera, but I didn't. We went shopping and went to Target and then to Mark's to get a few things that I needed. And we were leaving just as Jolene came to take the dog, so that was perfect timing. So the dog wasn't alone very much at all, because she takes long walks. She goes to the park and goes on the nature trails. She brings her Australian, one of her many dogs, small Australian Shepherd. And the two of them, they just are such good friends. She says the minute she turns into my driveway, her Aussie just gets all excited and is, yeah. So that's a good thing that they get to do once a week. So anybody that wants to, when I'm ever doing a box opening or a whatever, if you want to contact me, don't contact me through the eBay messages. I put on the description below, I put my email address, and I put it on here a couple times. Just email me. My email's out all over the place anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So just email me. Bumblebee, you still feeling good? My daughter listens to a woman doctor that's on YouTube, and I'll never tell you her name. I'll look it up and tell you next time. It's all about mostly eating healthy. And I was listening to her, and she was saying the good about potassium. Everybody that knows Silver Owl Thrifter is paying attention to their potassium level now. But yeah, she was talking about that too, and that salt, of course, sodium's important, but the best kind of salt, the absolute best kind, is Celtic salt. And the pink Himalayan salt's good, and too, but Celtic salt is the absolute best. It has all kinds of other minerals. It's not just sodium and chloride. It has all kinds of other minerals, and potassium being one of them. Yeah. And you just use it sparingly. And it's supposed to make food taste wonderful. So, hi, Bryland Farm. Ah. Yeah, glad to see you. Bryland Farm, where do you get all the things that you're selling? You sell so many different things on your site. You said, I think you said uh, you go to garage sales. It's so many different. You sell stuff around the house. Now, you can't have all that stuff around the house. Uh, yeah, well, maybe after I clean out my closet upstairs. No, that's not. Yeah, I used to go to Goodwill in between my two jobs, but I have worked there. Haven't worked there for over a year. Ah, Bryland Farm, Stacy, and her husband are both pharmacists. Do I have that right? I think so. Your house is 6,000 square feet. Oh my heavens. That's gigantic. Uh, if I had that, if my house was that big, I'd be right. I'd have lots of stuff too. You're trying to sell everything. I have in case my husband passes away, I can move into a tiny house. That would be a big difference. You know, those tiny houses, they're sort of, yeah, I think they're so interesting too. I watch a lot of videos about them. Yeah, that's you guys. Uh, yeah. Brian, does your mom live with you? I know she's on the in the garden lots. It's too big. I would think so. Ah, yeah, I think 6,000 square foot house would be a little hard to manage. Mm. You must, unless you have staff, you you must be exhausted. Mm. You know, sometimes, of course, I'm old, really old, but sometimes it seems like a chore to walk from one end of my house to the other end. I only have uh, tw- 24 or 2,600 square feet. Yeah, she has the master bedroom downstairs. We have 6 bedrooms upstairs, 3 of which I use for eBay. Yeah, you're like me. Yeah, it's taken over 1, 2, 4 of my rooms. Yeah, but a couple of my rooms are smaller. And upstairs now, I only have hanging racks. I don't have, I no more bins upstairs. Everything else is down here, including the ironing board. Uh, so yeah, it's just hanging racks, hang things on hangers, and a couple bedrooms, my bedroom and the bathroom. Sounds like a road trip to Bryland Farm Airbnb. Yeah. Ah, not in the summer though. It's a little hot down there. It's in Louisiana. Uh, Well, I'm not sure where everybody is this tonight. I hope people remembered the time change that I changed from 7:30 to 7. Uh, Bumblebee, cash my check. Thank you. Bumblebee sends me boxes. I send her a check, and she it's you know a long time before she cashes the check. It's always a surprise. Uh, yeah, it's best to cash them right away. Guitar guy is here. Hi. Classy D, and you just got home. Everything's good. 9 chat. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I have my tea, which is getting kind of cold. I spent, let's see, what date is it? The 22nd. When we went shopping yesterday, I keep a cash envelope in my purse, and I put so much, I allot so much for groceries. Of course, that kind of gets screwed up because I do order from Aldi, and that's on a card. So, so yeah, it's not exactly accurate, but I put so much in my envelope for food, for groceries, and yesterday I had $2 left, and that's two. I shop at the beginning of the month and sort of the middle of the month, and I was within $2. And I don't think I'll need anything before the end of the month. Ah, nice, cool sleeping weather. It has been, yes. In fact, I've been cold in the house, but that's just me. But now I think tomorrow, and then it's starting to get warmer. It's going to be in the 80s, up in the 80s every day here for at least the next week and a half. Janet Kay's here. Hi. Janet, what state do you live in? Where do you live? Your husband keeps the house at 69. Oh dear, I would freeze at 69. Yeah, I'm cold, and I looked at the thermostat the last couple days, and it was way down at 72. Yeah, Michigan, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Yeah, oh dear, I couldn't do that either. My sister keeps her house much colder than I do. I have to go watch a movie, so I'll talk to you sometime before you go. Yes, pray there's no hurricane while you're in the Outer Banks. Yeah, for sure. Ah, well, you guys get out of there if anything's coming. You get lots of warning with a hurricane. You don't mind it at night, but during the day it's too darn cold. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I mind it because I have an electric blanket on my bed, which never comes off, even in the summertime, because like now, I've turned on the electric blanket before I go to bed. I just warm up the bed, and then I turn it off when I get in. But yeah, I hate to get in a bed that's cold. So I don't know. I couldn't live without my electric blanket. I've had one for years, Years and years and years. So it's sort of nice having a cool bedroom and then crawling into a warm bed. That puts me to sleep like immediately. Uh, yeah, just hopefully I remember to turn it off because, yeah, if not, if I don't turn it off, I wake up in the middle of the night way too hot. Uh, so I got the dog, I've been feeding her the farmer's dog food, which some days she seems to love and other days she doesn't seem to be interested in it. But then I got a bag of, Chuck Norris, Chuck Norris guy. Uh, he, they make, him and his wife, they make a dried food, dog food, an air dried, which is also supposed to be really good. So I ordered a small bag of it just to see, and my dog loved it. And I've been giving it more like treats. And so I don't know whether I'll change over to that because it's so much easier to keep. It doesn't need refrigeration. It doesn't need anything. I mean, it's in a bag and it's air dried, so it keeps like that. And the farmer's dog, of course, it comes on dry ice. You have to keep it in the freezer and then bring it up to the refrigerator to thaw out and then, you know, have it for them. It's much more fussing around than this other would be. So I don't know. It's similar price. It's similar priced. So my cat seems to be doing okay, except she's still hungry and meowing all the time, but I do try to let her outside. That seems to keep her busy outside, and she comes to the back door and sits up on the little shelf at the windows when she wants to come in. But she hasn't brought me any rodents lately. The other day, or yesterday, when Samantha and I came back from the grocery store, we both smelled a skunk, and I thought, oh, please don't be under my front porch. Because they have been under there before with their little ones, but their little ones stay with them for a while. I did a skunk video once all about skunks, but I don't have the paper here with me. 14 in the chat. But the dog was out front and smelled under the porch and didn't pay any attention, so obviously there's nothing under there. And I don't smell the skunk smell anymore today. So it could have been anywhere. It could have been way on another road. I mean, yeah. Fourteen in the chat. Yeah, so what time? See, it's after 7:30. So I'm wondering, remember guys, I've changed the time to 7 every Tuesday and Thursday instead of 7:30. And it's all because I have to give my cat insulin at 8:30. So it gives us more time. So any more suggestions of what I should do YouTube videos on? 15 now. I love your little emojis, Bumblebee. Was that a penguin? Little penguins? Because we're cold. Hmm. Well, that store that I go to, where I got some flowers last in the spring, Marks, they got in all their fall flowers, and it's all outside lined up. So all their mums and things. So I may go back and get some mums because I don't know. The last few times I planted mums out front, they haven't come back. Now, aren't they supposed to come back? I'm pretty sure. Uh, yeah, but I don't know. There's none out there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yours would for sure, but this they've always come back in the past, but the last I think I planted them last year or the year before, and they never came back. And I plant them like at least maybe 3 or 4 plants, sometimes 6 across the front there. But I don't know where they went. But none of them. There's no plants out there. No mum plants. Do deer eat? Do deer eat mums? They sure aren't letting my hosta get big at all out there. And that's the only one they're bothering is that one hosta plant in the front. I have plenty of other ones and they haven't touched them. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. Maybe they're closer to the house. Maybe they can smell, of course, the dog. And the dog doesn't go on that side of the picket fence. So there's no dog smell over there. That's probably it. You have rabbits eating your hostas. Well, I have rabbits here. I wonder if I'm pretty sure it's the deer because the first eating of the hosta, it was, the hosta was pretty big and it was a huge amount they ate. So I don't think that was rabbits. I think it was the deer. So the bunnies aren't eating the other hostas either. So I guess I should count myself lucky. But there are big bites out of my tomatoes. Big bites like a bunny would take. Do bunnies eat tomatoes? I think the leaves and the vines and everything are pretty poisonous to most animals and chickens and everything. But the fruit is good. Yeah, another thing that they haven't touched is my herbs, which I'm very thankful for. So the bunnies, I don't know, maybe there's too much scent in the herbs, so a lot of animals don't eat herbs, I think. I have to trim a lot of them and there's some of them that are good to keep uh, bugs away. And I always put them in nesting boxes where the chickens are. Right now, the chickens are not laying in the nesting box, but the two, sometimes it's both of them, sometimes it's just one of the white cochins, chickens. They sleep in the nesting box, especially the one. She always sleeps in the nesting box. And yeah, I wish they would start laying eggs again. Oh, I didn't test that one egg I found in the pocket of my jacket that I hadn't worn since spring. So I have to, maybe it'll be part of some video I do, how to test your eggs. It looks fine, but you never know. If you're carrying an egg around in your pocket you don't know about, it could crack just the minutest amount, and then bacteria can get in there. So, and then air gets in. That's why this testing thing works. Debbie, hi. Hi, Debbie. Okay, I'll test some eggs. I have one container that's the perfect thing to test eggs with because it's wide, it's tall, and you can fill it with water. And then you can see through it, and you can see exactly what the egg's doing when you put it in there. So yeah, it's my egg testing container. Everybody's so quiet tonight. Mm. The girls aren't acting as strange as they were, but they're still not rushing out in the morning like they used to. Of course, they're getting old. My chickens are at least 7 years old. These four. The four I have left are about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. So they don't lay every day when they do lay. And right now they're taking a break because they're molting. But they're coming out faster. But it's still not like it used to be. And the one white cochin has such a hard time hopping down from the top roost. They all go up to the top roost. There's two roosts, one like here, and then one like here. So they have to jump from here down to there and then down to the floor. So she jumps, she tries and tries and tries, and she's the last one out. And I look in the window and she's trying and trying, trying, and finally she gets enough, you know, she gets bold enough to just take the leap. And she jumps down on the second pole, and then she jumps down to the floor. But it takes her forever. I don't know. Maybe she can't see very well. Chickens, I don't think well, they don't see at all, hardly at all at night. But by the time she's jumping down in the morning, it's light in there. So I don't know. Maybe her eyesight is going. And that would cause her to be afraid to jump down. She jumps up there and gets on the roost. It's really beautiful weather in St. Louis today. Yes. Yeah, we're having the same thing, Debbie. Yeah, it's been like fall here the last quite a few days now. And they're frying down south and in Texas, yes. That heat dome is down there. I hope we don't get that up here again. It was pretty miserable. Especially if you have to work out in it. I don't have to, but yeah. So I have two checking accounts, one my personal checking account, and one is the my business checking account from reselling. And uh, so I use that for things that I get done around the house or whatever. So yeah, my reselling paid for my storm cellar doors. And I figure the septic clean out is sort of just house maintenance. So I don't want to take that out of my reselling. Florida was so hot this year. Yeah. Carol. Hi, Carol. Mm, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I save it for things like that. Well, any inventory I buy comes out of it, but I haven't been shopping that much. Well, I did buy that big box that came out of it. Your reselling goes to property taxes. I bet. Uh, yes, they're not spring chickens anymore, for sure. You know, Tractor Supply still has little chicks in their store. Ah, what a temptation. There's hardly enough hot, warm weather to, I don't know why they still have them at this time of year. They didn't used to. They used to only have them in the spring and early summer, but they still have them. Not as many, but they still have them. I didn't show it yet. I'm going to do a walk around the yard maybe tomorrow and show it. I do have it on my picture, but I can't share the screen on this that I know how to do anyway. I probably can, but I just don't know. I'm afraid to do it. I'll show it the old-fashioned way here. Oh, that's going to be way too bright. Can you see it? Those are my new storm cellar doors. Uh, you hear it's best to get chicks in the fall so you don't lose a slow winter egg season. If you would get chicks every, if you get chicks, if I had a big place and was young, I'd get a few chicks every year. So then the first spring, the first summer that they are out, get out of their brooder out into the weather. Remember, they can't go outside till it gets warm here. So then they lay that first winter. They will continue to lay through the summer, fall, and winter. So that the next winter they won't. When I first got chicks, way back when I first had them, I put a light in the coop all night. That was such a dumb idea. So that they never got a break, not at night. In the Well, yeah, part of the night when it started to get dark early here, and they would lay all winter. But I only did it that first year, and then I thought this is dumb. So 19 in the chat. Ah, They slow down in the winter. If you grow them out the first winter, they are laying in the spring and summer. If you grow them out the first winter, they are laying in the spring and summer. But I would get my chicks in April here in April. And then by the time they get, they have to be like what? In order to go outside, it has to be it's like the middle of June here before it stays warm at night, at night. So that's a long time to have your chicks in the house because they make a real mess. Even if they're in the brooder, even if they're in the playpen that I had for them, all closed in, that dust just escapes all over everything. Uh, yeah, he did a really nice job on the doors. Yeah, see, when you get chicks here, I don't have a barn that's warm. I don't have a garage that's warm. I have to keep them in the house, and they in the first place they are is in my bathroom. I make a brooder in there. Well, pretty soon they outgrow that, and then I had a play like a dog playpen. It was all enclosed, and that was in the dining room. And by the time they get old enough to go out, you know, in June, they're like pullets. So, yeah, they've made a big mess in my house. Yeah, you have to clean every single day because, yes, the smell is not good once they get a little older past the tiny chick stage. Uh, I always thought if I did it again, which I'm not going to, if I did it again with little chicks, I'd have them in the basement. But the only way I'd get new chickens now is I'd buy the pullets, but they're so expensive to buy that way. Chicks are so cheap and pullets are expensive. Uh, yeah, you can do outside year round. Right. It's a whole other thing up here. A lot more work. Another thing I would do is if one of my chickens and they're not these chickens aren't going broody at all. Now Cochins will go broody, but these two haven't. And if one of them, see, I used to have Buff Orpingtons, and they would go broody all the time. And that's I would do that. I would buy little chicks and put them under the broody hen, or I'd buy fertilized eggs and try that. And then mama chicken will just raise the chickens. You don't have to do anything. Yeah. Brylan, do you let your chickens do all the work, or do you have a brooder and do you uh, brood your own eggs? Yeah, I've never done that. I never had where I just have the egg and then have it hatch in the house. Never did that. Incubator, yeah. We have an incubator and then a brooder. Yeah, I never tried that. You have a room in the barn. Uh, yeah, that's one of the advantages of living in the South. Mm. Hanging heat lamps. I had hanging heat lamps just in the house when they were tiny chicks to keep it at 90 degrees when they were a few days old. But yeah, there's a something I wonder if it's still down there after the After the clean out of the basement, I bet it's gone. See, that's another thing I should have saved to sell. I had a really good heat lamp. One of not the kind that will apt to start a fire. The really good kind that yeah. All that chicken stuff. The only thing I think I have left is the little warming plate where the chicks can go underneath it. I have that down there, and I have the playpen. Other than that, I think everything's gone. They start in troughs, like you said, in your garden. Yeah, I wish I would have started with chickens long time ago. I've had them for what, maybe 10 years. But I should have gotten them I should have gotten them 20 years ago when we first moved into this house. Never thought of it. All I thought about is growing gardens. Yeah, the warmers. Yeah, I started using that warmer. They're nice. So you don't have to mess with the light. Much safer. Uh, then besides keeping them in the house, I have bird dogs. Now I have to keep the dogs from breaking into wherever they're at. Ah, your dog's probably is your little dog how interested is your little dog in your chickens and your quail and your guineas? Would your little dog go after them? My chickens aren't fast enough. My dog, each one of my pointers have gotten one chicken. Yeah. And I've lost a couple to hawks. One just dropped over dead. I swear it was fine. I couldn't figure out what had happened to it. It didn't have any symptoms of anything. It wasn't egg bound. The crop wasn't stuffed up. It was nothing that you'd think. And the rest of the chickens weren't sick. So I've no idea. Sometimes chickens just drop over dead. I also had the second chicken, just it just was dead, had fallen off the perch at nighttime, and we just was dead in the morning. So that's two. I had one. I one had a filled, whatever you call that, with the sour crop that I couldn't save. It lived in my bathroom for a couple days, and I did everything for it, and I couldn't save it. And I had one get egg bound, but I did bring it into the bathroom clinic. And for 2 days, she sat in warm water and we did all that stuff. And she finally passed her egg, and the egg was still whole. It wasn't broken. So that was a good one. The Pyrenees would probably teach her a quick lesson if she tried. Oh, good. Yeah. Was it gnat season? Oh, they get their nose and it kills the chickens down there. I don't know. We don't get a big gnat season here. No, not like I remember that from Florida. That and the no-see-ums down in Florida. Oh, they would drive me crazy. She's only a few months old, so we're keeping her on a short leash. Yeah, she is so cute. Ah, I've never had a smaller dog. I've always had big dogs. My sister likes smaller dogs. There's some smaller dogs that I wouldn't mind having. More working type dogs, uh, not sit on the couch and be pretty dogs. Uh, you hate the no seams. Me too. I didn't even know what they were when I first went to Florida. When I first got married to my husband, and we went down to Florida to visit his parents because they lived in that house. And we went. We were going. We were going to one of the canals to put this little boat that we had at the time. We didn't have the bigger boat then. We had a little boat with a little motor, and we were putting it into the canal, and then you would take it from the canal out into the Gulf. But all of a sudden, I'm getting bit, and you couldn't see. Is there no seams? It was terrible. I didn't know what in the earth it was. And then Jack's father said, "Oh, those are no seams." What the heck? Ah, yeah, I think I have pictures. I think I have pictures of us in that boat. Ah, yeah, it was beautiful down there where we were. We were right at the point on Anna Marie Island, or right near, within a couple blocks of the point. So if you'd walk across the street to the beach and then walk down the beach, you'd get to the point. That's where a big house owned by Tropicana, one of the people that owned Tropicana, like Tropicana orange juice, that was their house. And did I ever tell you this? Across the street from our house, um, there was a beautiful house on the beach where there's several of them, big houses. And somebody had told us that that was, oh, darn, it just slipped out of my mind like that. A movie star. He's the one that now advertises for to sell you to buy your get your house for older people to use the. See, I can't even. I'm having a bad word thing right now. Reverse mortgage. Yeah, who's that guy? Reverse mortgage. Yeah, he advertises about that all the time. He plays policeman a lot, and he played being the police. Tom Selleck, yes, Tom Selleck. Uh, they said he owned this house, so we always kept an eye out for him. And one time, we saw him drive. He was in a little sports car. He was coming out of the house, and he got in the car and drove back down the driveway, and then took off down the street. and that's the only time I ever saw him. My sister saw, uh, I shouldn't even say it because I'm gonna, uh, won't be able to think of his name either. The movie star that flies planes, he does all these, uh, does his own stunts. You know, he's in that funny religious religion thing. See, it's like a quiz here. Tom Cruise. Yeah, what's the name of his movies? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his. Is he going to go see Higgins and TC? You couldn't help yourself. I don't know, maybe. Uh, the Top Gun guy, yes. Yeah, Tom Cruise. My sister saw him in Columbia Circle, which is down a couple islands, and we drive down there to this fancy place. And there was right there is the Columbia Circle, and she saw him walking along the street. I never saw him, but she did. Yeah, Mission Impossible. Yeah, that guy. Mm. Yeah, in Columbia Station, down on there's Anna Maria, and then there's Longboat Key, and then the bottom island. It's a smaller one. They're all sort of attached. He was there. It's a big shopping circle of really expensive stores. But we used to go down there to eat in this restaurant, in the Columbia Circle. Uh, see if I can see a picture of. Maybe that's the name of the restaurant. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Let me look at this up a different way. Longboat Key. I'll find this sooner or later here. St. Armand's Key. There it is. St. Armand's is below Longboat Key. St. Armand's Circle, and Lido Beach. Those are real fancy places. Yeah, if you just follow Longboat Key, Anna Maria, then Longboat Key, and it's off the coast of Sarasota. And yeah, St. Armand's. We go down there and eat in the restaurant there. My husband took me down there one time. We were in the restaurant, and I had never had a Long Island iced tea. Is that what it's called? Long Island iced tea. I like iced tea. So he gets me one. And I just, of course, it was hot and I'm thirsty. I just down that thing. I mean, they're tall. I'm drinking, drinking. He says, "You better take it easy on that." And I could hardly feel my legs when we went to the car. Yeah, because I don't drink very much. Oh, yeah, that wasn't a good thing to do. He probably thought it was funny. Yeah, St. Armand's, that's where we saw him. Or she saw him. I didn't see him. I think I saw a thing once where he was I don't know if he was on Ellen DeGeneres or someplace he was talking on a show like that. And he said one time he was walking along and this young girl saw him and he knew that she recognized him. And he says he just went like this and she didn't say anything. But that wasn't my sister. Uh, it has over 5 liquors in it. Yeah, well, I found that out later, but it was good while it was going down and not so good afterwards. No actual tea. Yeah, yeah, that was bad on my husband's part. I could have been poisoned. Oh, but yeah, by the time we got home after the ride home, it wasn't a good time. Uh, that was the only other time. There was one other time that I drank. It was when I got transferred from the floors. This is when I was in nursing. I was going with my husband at the time. And to celebrate, it's when I got transferred to the emergency room. That was a big thing. And I liked that milky drink. What is it? That real milky drink. I can't think of any words tonight. It's just how it's going to be. But any Kahlua, yeah, thank you. Kahlua, yes. So I drinking all these Kahluas, and that's not good to drink a lot of those either. Yes. So by the time I got home, I was not feeling good. Ugh. Ah, Bailey's, yeah, Bailey's. Yep. See, I always like sweet drinks, and that's the problem with them. White Russian, right? Exactly, the White Russian. Yeah, so after those 2 incidences, I don't think I much drank anymore, period. I didn't see the fun in that. Uh, yeah. So, did I ever tell you guys that I took belly dancing lessons? I came across this picture that I will show it in one of my YouTube videos. Uh, I made a whole costume. I took belly dancing lessons. Now, this was the Art League put this on. They hired a belly dancer to teach a class. And I thought, well, that would be fun and really good exercise. This is back when I was married the first time to the kid's father. And the kids were little, and I was in the Art League because that's back when I painted. And yeah, so they encouraged you to make a costume because at the end of the class, we had a little show. So I really got into making this costume. I strung and hand beaded 3,600 beads on this costume. It was beautiful. My daughter used it for years afterwards, like to win Halloween costumes and that. But yeah, and as a class, we went downtown Cleveland. There was, I don't even know where it is down there, where it was. We went to a real place that had real belly dancers, and there was a famous belly dancer there, and she traveled with 2 white German shepherds when she would go anywhere. But anyway, she was just a really fantastic belly dancer. And it was just in this little club downtown Cleveland. But I'll never tell you the names of anything, especially tonight. Well, see, one story goes to another in my head, and then, yeah. But I do have a picture of of me in the costume when I was young. I'll have to, my daughter says I should show it, so I don't know. I'll have to look at it again. Yeah. That was way back when I could wear tiny bikinis on the beach in Florida. Mm. Yeah, one time in my life. Well, after you found all that stuff out about me, it's almost time for the cat to get her insulin. And then there's the stories of me going, the stories of me going to the Bahamas. That's a whole other thing too. Yeah. She needs to drink a lot during story time. Oh dear, that wouldn't be good. Ah, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's when Shelley wants to send me wine. Yeah, too many headaches with the wine thing. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to close for now before I spew anything else out about me. And I will look up that picture though, since I've already told you about it. And, the next time I'll be here is Sunday for the What Sold video. So Sunday at 4 o'clock, I'll be back and tell you what sold this whole week of me dropping prices and taking offers, and we'll see how it's going. It hasn't been anything to brag about, believe me. Thank you, guitar guy. So I will be back on Sunday. Hope to see you all then. And look for videos because I am putting videos out now, recorded videos of this and that. So I will see you then. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.